Yo, what's going on, everybody? How y'all doing? It is officially, the time is here, man. It is officially the final PLE before WrestleMania. It is officially the day of the Elimination Chamber, man. So, in today's video, in today's Ringside Roundup here on the channel, man, our topic today is going to be the 2026 Elimination Chamber. So, I'm going to go over the entire show, every match that happened on the show, everything important you need to know about the show, and as always, I give my thoughts on how I felt about the show as an entire, as the entirety. But as always, you guys can go down in the comments below and leave me your thoughts on the show, whether that's leaving your thoughts on the show, debating my thoughts and how I felt in the show, where maybe you want to talk about where you think storylines can go from, from whatever happened here at the Chamber. All that can be done down in the comments below. And the challenge for you guys, man, is do not click off the video until you drop one comment down in the comment section about the Elimination Chamber. So that is your challenge. So nobody likes to fail a challenge, man. Everybody likes to succeed in challenges. So be sure to drop a comment before you do click off this video. But as always, enough talk, man. You guys already know what to do. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn post notifications to never miss an upload. Go follow those socials. Links to those can be found in the description of this video. Link to my Instagram account, Max account. Do that helps me a ton. Enough talk. Let's get you guys turned into today's Elimination Chamber Ringside Roundup. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we would start things off pretty hot, man. We would start things off with the women's Elimination Chamber match, man. So this match, I had a lot of questions, just of how good the match was really going to be walking into it. But honestly, this match really was very awesome in my opinion. I really did enjoy this one. Now there is for sure pros and cons to this match. We're gonna break them all down. So first things first, we started off with, I believe it was we started off with Kiana James and it was Tiffany Stratton. And I will say Kiana James in this match, absolute standout. Kiana James was one of the most over women, if not the most over women in this match. But she performed really well overall in this match. Really enjoyed everything that we saw from Kiana. That's something that we really needed to see here, considering that Kiana literally pinned Charlotte to, obviously get her shot in this match. So this was kind of something that we needed, was Kiana to be a standout, and she absolutely was. Although she, of course, I will say, she did not win, which was expected for sure, but she won in other ways in the sense that, she was, like I said, one of the most over women in this match for sure. But yeah, so I want to talk that we talked about a little bit about Kiana, man. Kiana definitely did really good in this match. But our first elimination would, happen relatively quickly in this match, I would say. So I believe it was by the time the first elimination happened, I believe it was Asuka. Asuka was in the ring. Tiffany was active. Kiana was active, and Alexa Bliss was active, and I believe Rhea Ripley was active as well. Except the only woman that wasn't at least active in the match at the time was Raquel Rodriguez. So the first elimination happened before, even all the women were really before all women were out of their pods. And the first elimination would be Alexa Bliss, because we would see the mist from Asuka. She would get the mist in the eyes of Alexa Bliss. And I believe it was, I think it was either Kiana or it was Tiffany that would roll up Alexa Bliss 1, 2, 3, and then Alexa Bliss is out as the first woman out of this match. Now, I will say for sure, this was the first moment where the match really started to feel rushed, in the sense that, like I said, not all women were out of the pod, and we already have one elimination. So this was the first incident in this match where I feel like this match kind of felt rushed, and overall it kind of continued to just feel more rushed, in my opinion, which we're going to continue to talk about here. So like I said, yes, Alexa would be the first elimination. Later on in the match, finally, Raquel obviously would get her hands on, would get her hands on all the women in the pod, or in the chamber. She would get out of her pod, and she would perform really well as well, man. Really loved everything we saw from Raquel. She came out looking like $1,000,000, just like Kiana James, man. Raquel Rodriguez did so well in this match. She came out freaking hot, man. Like it was a good while before, somebody could actually take down Raquel Rodriguez. Like, Raquel was literally going through everybody, man. Even Rhea Ripley, man, she was dominating, and it took a minute for people to actually, any woman to actually take down Raquel, man. Raquel did some great stuff in this match, did exactly what she should. That powerhouse Raquel, man, really came out in this match, which is something that we also need over here from Raquel. We really need a standout Raquel, and I would say Raquel was also a standout in this match, along with Kiana James, as I said. Really good stuff from her, and things only continued to get better for Raquel Rodriguez, because we would then get to a point where she would have Kiana James in a it was like a running power slam position, and she would have her on her shoulders. Raquel would have Kiana, and she would run through one of the pods and freaking just destroyed Kiana James, freaking absolute bulldozing Kiana through, or right through the freaking pod, man. Really freaking cool spot there. Really enjoyed that. So that was really cool. And then, even though, you know, Raquel does get some good offense there, then she finally takes Kiana back in the ring, and then she would lay out Kiana, and then she would also grab Asuka. She would deliver her power bomb that she usually does, and then 1, 2, 3 double stacks Asuka and Kiana, and Asuka and Kiana are both eliminated at the same time by Raquel. So right there, I will say for sure was another incident where this match felt rushed, but that right there was probably the best offense that we saw in this match for sure was from Raquel. I will say that 100%. What we saw there from Raquel, that sequence when with everything with Kiana James through the pod and the double eliminations on Kiana and Asuka, was a really big spot in just this entire match, but also just for Raquel, man. This was a really big thing. Like I said, yes, this is one of the main things, or the main thing that made this match feel rushed for sure, but this was a really big spot for Raquel Rodriguez. So I think Raquel getting this was actually really cool to see, and that's kind of the main reason why I would argue that, like I said, this was probably the best sequence of offense that we saw throughout this match was from Raquel. So that is a good thing, 100% for Raquel. So she would eliminate Asuka and Kiana James. And then finally, like I said, right after that would be finally where Raquel would then unfortunately get eliminated. And that was really unfortunate for sure, because Raquel was my pick. And, you know, I want to say this real quick. This match, all the women that were included in this Elimination Chamber match, they obviously, whoever wins this is going to face Jade Cargill. And the thing is like, all of these women, in my opinion, I really don't want to see any of them face Jade Cargill realistically. I don't think any of them, any woman here in particular, has really a great like history with Jade Cargill as far as, you know, build or like interactions with Jade Cargill, except for Tiffany. But Tiffany is also kind of just, we've seen Tiffany and Jade so many times, so it's like really none of these women are really anybody that I feel like I said, like, you know, me, or I feel like a lot of people would want to see go up against Jade Cargill. But Raquel definitely was somebody that, you know, I just think that like made more sense, if you kind of get what I'm saying. Like, but you know, unfortunately that would get cut short because Raquel would be eliminated, which really did suck, because that left us down to 2, and that being Rhea Ripley and none other than Tiffany Stratton, which, like I said, I don't want to see Tiffany face Jade Cargill, and I really don't care to see Rhea versus Jade, although that could be a good match. You know, it is what, you know, it's just not really something that, I don't know, I'm just not really, that's not really one of the matches where I'm like, oh my god, I really want to see that. But then again, things could change throughout the road to WrestleMania, of course. So yeah, it would come down to Rhea Ripley and Tiffany Stratton, and things would end pretty badly for Tiffany Stratton, as Rhea would, I believe Tiffany was trying to go for a moonsault, I believe, and Rhea would come up from behind. She would just shove her, and Tiffany would hit her, like her face, like right into a pod. Then Rhea Ripley would grab Tiffany and grab her back in the ring. Riptide, 1, 2, 3, and Rhea Ripley is going on to WrestleMania to face Jade Cargill, man. So, like I said, not particularly a great winner in my opinion. Like I said, I really think Raquel Rodriguez should have won this one, especially considering after her offense and what we saw from her in this match. But unfortunately, that is not going to happen. And one thing I also want to say is Rhea Ripley does not need to win an Elimination Chamber to get a title shot at a WrestleMania. That's another reason why I really hate this winner here. It's not that I hate Rhea Ripley at all. It's just literally the fact that Rhea does not need Elimination Chamber to get a title shot. And I feel like I'm not the only one that clearly acknowledges that, man. Rhea does not need this match to get a freaking title shot. And that's really what's going to, my biggest problem with this match was just the winner, man. Really did not like the fact that Rhea Ripley won. As soon as Raquel Rodriguez got eliminated, I was kind of like, okay, well, kind of unfortunate how I mean, it's either going to end Tiffany or Rhea, and it's like, I don't really care for any of them to really win this match. So like I said, Rhea and Jade, yes, could be a good match, and like I said, I could possibly get more hype for it as the road to WrestleMania continues. But you know, at the same time, it's still like Rhea she just doesn't need this, man. She really doesn't, and I don't know why WWE just doesn't realize that, because we've seen this so many times with Rhea before, where she is inserted into a match like the Elimination Chamber to get a major title shot, even though Rhea is one of those ones that does not need a freaking one of these types of matches to get a major title shot. So yeah, you guys understand, man. I mean, like I said, I feel like a lot of people are going, you definitely feel the same. But let's wrap this up here. Final thoughts, man. I would say overall star power, this match was awesome. Kiana James, like I said, great standout in this match, along with Raquel Rodriguez. So both of those women did absolutely amazing in this match. Everything that they did was something that was just what they needed, man. Both of those women in particular really needed to stand out, and I would say they freaking did great. But overall, I think this match was great from star power, from offense. I really enjoyed this for the most part, just the overall match. But my main con is, well, my two cons are, you know, like I said, I did kind of feel like the match was a bit rushed. And final con, or my major con, is of course the winner. I do not like Rhea Ripley winning this whatsoever. But let me know how you guys feel about this. Do you like Rhea Ripley winning? Do you want to see Rhea Ripley versus Jade Cargill? Let me know how you guys felt about this overall match. But I, for one, did actually think it was very good from a star power and in-ring perspective, but just did not like the winner, man. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, and moving on, we would jump into AJ Lee versus Becky Lynch for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. Obviously, walking in as champion here would be none other than Becky Lynch, and this match kind of just, it really was just exactly what I thought. Now, in my predictions, I pretty much just assumed that this wasn't going to be, you know, typically, of course, the best match for sure, but not just that, but also kind of just a slow match, and it was, in my opinion, kind of slow a little bit. I will say, I feel like the pace was definitely a little bit slow. I will say though, at the same time, not as slow as I did think, for sure. I do want to throw that out there as well. So, but it still also was also predictable in the sense that, you know, eventually throughout this match we would, of course, get referee shenanigans when at one point, I believe it was, I think it was AJ Lee that would get ran into the referee, I believe is what happened by Becky Lynch, and then the referee would be taken down for a, you know, good portion of the match, I would say. And then so I mean, the match, it was predictable, and I will say it was also, like I said, it was slow, but not as slow as I did originally think. I will say that, like I said. So yeah, I mean, the referee would get knocked down, and we would have the referee shenanigans as, you know, usual. And of course, throughout that, AJ Lee would get the Black Widow locked in on Becky Lynch as the referee's down. Becky Lynch obviously doing the tapping motion, but the referee obviously not awake to see it. So, you know, that happened as well. And then we would get to a point where we would see the manhandle slam, I believe it was, from Becky to AJ Lee. The referee would now be up, and then Becky gets the 1-2, and then AJ Lee does kick out. I will say I was kind of expecting the match to end right then and there, but it did continue on going, so that was pretty cool, I will say. And then from finally, we would see the Black Widow get locked in on Becky Lynch, and then obviously Becky would tap, and AJ Lee does become new Intercontinental Champion. And one thing else I did forget to mention about the ending there, it was also kind of funny in my opinion, was where there was one point where Becky Lynch was going to throw AJ Lee into the exposed turnbuckle, and the referee stopped her from doing that because obviously that's going to get Becky disqualified. But what's funny is literally a few moments later is when Becky would accidentally run into the exposed turnbuckle herself, which would then allow, of course, for the Black Widow to be locked in on her by AJ Lee, and then obviously Becky taps out. So I think that was actually kind of poetic and funny, I would say, at the same time. So that was kind of cool, I will say. So ranking this overall match, I will say it's kind of just overall a pretty mid match in my opinion. Didn't really like this match too much. I will say, like I said, the ending was pretty funny and poetic, I will say. But overall, man, it was still, there's no doubting that the slow pace was still there. Like I said, not as slow as I thought, but the slow pace was still there, you know? So overall, I would say it was a mediocre match, man. Nothing really crazy. Is it cool to see AJ Lee win the title, though? I would say yes. That is cool. Also, I'm 1 for 2 on the night as for my predictions, because for the first match, I obviously predicted Raquel, but here I did predict AJ Lee to win this. As far as where things go from here, man, I think it's just going to be AJ Lee, obviously holding it to WrestleMania. She probably loses, like I said, she'll probably lose it at WrestleMania, and then she'll probably go on like another little hiatus, like she kind of did in between War Games and to the build up to Elimination Chamber. That's kind of how I feel like it's really going to play out for AJ Lee's title run. So I don't think she's going to be holding it for long. So although it may be cool now, it might not be a long-lasting effect for AJ Lee holding the title, but that could just be a prediction. Like I said, maybe not an actual reality, but like I said, let me know how you guys do feel about this match, man. Like I said, I think it was all right. It was mediocre at the same time, though. So like I said, leave me your thoughts. How did you guys feel about this match? Did you like it? Did you not? Do you like AJ Lee as the new champion? How do you think her title run is going to play out? Let me know all that down in the comments. Without further ado, man, let's jump on to the next match of the night. All right, ladies and gentlemen, and moving on, we would jump into CM Punk versus Finn Balor for the World Heavyweight Championship, walking in as champion champion obviously would be the best in the world, the second City Saint. It would be CM Punk. And overall, obviously a really amazing match, man. Really enjoyed this one. Ending very questionable. In fact, ending very trash in this match, I think. I did not like the ending whatsoever. But yeah, overall match really enjoyable. I really did enjoy this match. It was a hard fought battle. I mean, literally these stars went to pretty much till they were both pretty much limp in the freaking body, if you ask me, man. I mean, there was multiple times towards like the middle to end of this match where CM Punk and Finn Balor, you know, they're both limp, but they're still, you know, they're still fighting forward, which ultimately just showing the, you know, the hard fought battle that we really did get in this match. So I think this match is really awesome. I did enjoy it for sure. I want to talk about more of a pace wise. I don't think the pace was slow. It wasn't like super fast, of course, either. I would say it was, you know, it was kind of what you would expect, but I would have liked maybe a little bit of a faster pace, maybe, but the pace I'm not going to hate on too much because I still really did like this match. I thought it was amazing. We would even see blood from CM Punk, so that was pretty cool. And another cool moment in this match is we would get to the outside of the ring and CM Punk, he's leaning up against the barricade, and Finn Balor would deliver a double drop kick to CM Punk, which would break the barricade. So I think that was a really cool spot as well. But I mean, then we would finally get to the end, and this is where the ending is just trash, because then we see CM Punk, he pretty much just he's also limp, and he picks up a limp Finn Balor, and he delivers the GTS 1-2-3. Match is over, and I just think it was a terrible ending, not because of who won. In fact, I kind of, you know, assumed that CM Punk would win, but why I say the ending's trash is because it's just after everything that we just witnessed, the match, it all ends just like that. Just a little oh, all right, pick them up, little GTS with no real build to the final GTS the match to end it. It was really kind of just a random GTS in my opinion to end the match. So I really didn't like this ending. So the ending kind of left a bad taste in my mouth just a little bit. But looking at the overall match, I think this match was great. Really did enjoy this one. I mean, as far as what's next, I mean, CM Punk obviously going on to the main event of WrestleMania, so you already know what's next for him. As far as Finn Balor, I think we'll probably, of course, learn more this upcoming Monday Night Raw, because Roman Reigns is set to he's set to be there at this upcoming Raw to address the winner of this match. Obviously, now we know it's CM Punk, so I feel like maybe Finn Balor is it might come out within that interaction, but I don't know. We'll have to wait and see, man. I overall really did enjoy this match, man. Let me know how you guys did feel about this match. Do you like that CM Punk retain? Would you have preferred Finn Balor to win? Let me know all your guys' thoughts on this match for one. But like I said, I for one do think this match was pretty good. Just the ending was pretty garbage, not gonna lie. But like I said, let me know your thoughts down in the comments below, man. All right, and after that match, we would finally see the box be open. The box that's been there on WWE television for the past few weeks. The do not open box until February 28, 2026. You know, obviously that box. So we get to the opening of that. Adam Pearce, Nick Aldis, they're out there right next to the box. They have little bars. They open up the box. It opens with a crate, or it opens, and inside of it is a coffin, and the coffin opens, and it's Danhausen. This guy Danhausen, I don't really know much about him. I don't really know who the guy is. I've heard of him, but I don't know much about him whatsoever. Is he from AEW? Where is he from? Let me know if you guys know much about him, because I literally don't know shit about this guy. I will say this is stupid. Why make a box just for some guy named Danhausen? That's retarded, in my opinion. I think that's really stupid. I don't like that whatsoever. I think that WWE really did not need to build up a box for like 3-4 weeks, however long it was, just for fucking Danhausen. I think that's really freaking stupid, and it kind of pissed me off, man. Like, I know you kind of should just go into things like these nowadays with WWE just going in and thinking, oh, it's going to be some promotion, or it's just going to be something stupid, like it literally was, man. I get that, but I mean, dude, we're building for something like that for like 3 to 4 weeks, and you're just going to pop out some guy named Danhausen, man. I mean, come on, that's really shitty in my opinion. I did not like this whatsoever. Like I said, this left a really bad taste in my mouth. This moment, I really hated this. Don't even know who the guy is. I mean, I guess if you know who he is, maybe you think it's cool, but I think this was just stupid either way, man. He did. Honestly, it's kind of just pissing me off talking about it. So let's wrap this up, man. I didn't care I didn't care for this. I think this is stupid. I feel like a lot of people are gonna feel the same way, to be honest. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have finally made it to our main event of the night, which would take place with the men's elimination chamber match. Man, this match absolutely freaking. I mean, I'm gonna say this match was interesting. I'm gonna throw it as that. I'm gonna say this match was interesting. The first, I mean, dude, a good portion of this match, a bit questionable, and we're gonna talk about all of it, of course. But the last few minutes of this match, amazing. Absolutely incredible. So we started off. I mean, we start from the beginning, and we're gonna go to the middle. So throughout the beginning, the middle stages of this match, it was pretty trash. I gotta be honest, man. I didn't really like the beginning to the middle stages of this match. Really didn't, and that's mainly because of the fact that there was a good amount of botches. One of those being with Javon Evans, where there was a spot where he would go to the top of the elimination chamber, and he was supposed to do a frog splash to Trick Williams, and he pretty much kind of fumbled because it was pretty sloppy. It's like kind of something that you do if you're nervous, which then again, he did say he was when he's doing his entrance before he got to the chamber, he was saying it, he's nervous like really fast in the camera. But which, I mean, yes, it's reasonable, but it's like, I mean, dude, come on, man, you're Javon Evans, man. Let's do something that the fans are gonna love. But it was, I mean, dude, the way he connected with that frog splash was. It wasn't good. It really wasn't, man. I mean, he jumps off the pod. Yeah, he jumps off the pod, but he lands on his feet and then he goes down to land on top of Trick Williams. You can clearly see it, clear as day. So I think that was really, man, really kind of set the tone for me for as far as Javon Evans goes, for sure. Because then, I mean, literally right after, he would get eliminated by Logan Paul with a nasty pulverizer. So that was actually a really insane spot from Logan and Javon there with Logan Paul's pulverizer. That should look pretty bad on frickin' Javon Evans, man. Like, that shit did not look good for Javon whatsoever. But well, we'll have to wait and see if he's, of course, okay. But like, yeah, I mean, Javon, right after he botches that, would get eliminated, and with Javon in this match, we thought he was going to do some crazy ass shit, and he really didn't. He really was not a standout like he was supposed to be. Javon was supposed to be the standout of this match, and he was the farthest thing from that, if you ask me. Javon Evans was not a standout in this match whatsoever. I was really disappointed with how Javon Evans I was really disappointed with how he played out in this match. I think he was supposed to be utilized a lot better and used a lot better, and he was supposed to do a lot better, and he just didn't, man. And that's really unfortunate because Javon Evans was one of my biggest. He was one of my golden boys going into this match. Like, not to win, but just like I said, to be the standout of this match. And like I said, just the farthest thing from it. And I gotta be honest. I mean, pretty much same with even LA Knight, man. LA Knight, he would botch too, because there would be a point where he would be on top of a pod, and I'm pretty sure, or no, maybe he was on top of the turnbuckle, I think is what it was, and I believe he was going for the elbow drop or something like that to, I think, Randy or Trick Williams, one of the two, something like that, and he slips, and then the whole move is pretty much just botched after that, and then he gets eliminated by, I believe it was Logan Paul, who got 3 eliminations in this match, by the way. So, but dude, I mean, literally, LA Knight freaking was also supposed to be not, I mean, LA Knight was, oh man, I mean, dude, LA Knight coming out of this match, he just looks super freaking weak, man. If you would ask me, LA Knight coming out of this match just looks very freaking weak, and I really have, man, after this, I don't really have much hope for LA Knight. I gotta be completely honest, man. After what we saw here, it got me pretty disappointed for what's to come, probably for LA Knight, man. I did not enjoy what we saw from LA Knight. He went out terribly. He botches a move, and then he gets freaking low blowed by Logan Paul, and Logan Paul pins him 1, 2, 3. Match is over. So I gotta be honest, I don't have high hopes for LA Knight, man. I really don't, and I really hate to say that, because LA Knight is, again, one of my golden boys just for right now. Like, not just going in this match, but just like for modern day. I really want LA Knight to get a big push, but I gotta be honest, after this match, I don't think I really have my hopes are low. My hopes are extremely low for LA Knight, so that is really unfortunate. So 2 things coming out of this match for sure is I'm disappointed with Javon, and I'm really disappointed with LA Knight as well, man. I'm really disappointed with the both of them. Yeah, it really does suck, but like I said, Logan Paul would get 3 eliminations in this match. He would dominate a good portion of this match for sure, which is really annoying. I did not like that whatsoever. But then again, that's kind of what this match is supposed to make you do is, of course, hate Logan Paul. I mean, nobody's really supposed to like Logan Paul. He would eliminate Javon, he would eliminate Trick, and like I said, he would eliminate freaking what's his name, LA Knight. Yeah, and then but then when finally we would get to a point where Logan Paul would finally, I believe, he would eliminate Trick Williams, and Trick Williams, the door would be open for Trick Williams, and this is where things really get good, because then we see a masked man appear. A masked man appears, he starts climbing the Elimination Chamber walls, but the WWE security team, they do grab him, they get a hold of him, and they drag him out. They unmask him once again, some random dude that they probably hired off of Craigslist. But then we pan back over to Trick Williams, and they take Trick Williams, they carry him. You know, we start seeing the referees carry him, to the backstage, of course, get him to the backstage, get him off camera, of course. And then we see in the background, from under the ring or the barricade area, we see the actual masked man. He slips in, he gets in the ring, and he curb stomps Logan Paul, and right then and there I was like, okay, he's getting the masked man, and he's going to unmask here, and he kind of has to unmask here, and it's most likely Seth Rollins. The way the stomp just looked was super smooth in my opinion, that I just knew it was Seth Rollins right then and there for sure, which, guess what, it freaking was Seth freaking Rollins, man. So Seth Rollins is the masked man. I freaking knew it all along. I'm pretty sure all of us knew it all along. One thing I do want to talk about here as far as the masked man stuff goes is, I'm really, really hoping that it's not LA Knight, it's not Seth Rollins versus Logan Paul going into WrestleMania. I don't want to see that, or not just that. I don't really want to see Seth versus Austin Theory either, because as of right now, that's probably what the match is going to be. It's either going to be for WrestleMania for Rollins. It's either going to be him versus Logan or him versus Austin Theory, because Bronson Reed are currently out of action. But as we know, I mean, I don't think Bronson Reed is going to be back for WrestleMania whatsoever, but I really, really am hoping that Braun Breaker can make it back. I don't really know if he can. I don't know if it's possible, but I'm pretty sure it was a hernia problem with Braun Breaker, and I'm pretty sure he already had the surgery and he's just recovering. I don't know if he can recover that quickly. I don't really know much about the injury as a whole. I just know that he did undergo surgery, I'm pretty sure already, and it was the hernia. So I'm hoping that Braun Breaker can make it back for WrestleMania, so we can see Braun Breaker versus Seth Rollins, because that is a match that we need to see. That is the match that would completely pay off everything that has been happening, with the Vision turning on Rollins, the Masked Man. That is kind of what needs to happen at Mania. So I don't know if it's possible. Maybe it's not, and if it's not, that's really unfortunate, man, because I mean, as of right now, it's not possible whatsoever, because Braun Breaker's not back. But even if it's last second, man, at least I hope we get it on the WrestleMania card. So we'll have to wait and see as far as that goes. But back to the match. So Logan Paul would obviously get eliminated after Seth curb stomps him, and Seth would be taken back into the fans or into the crowd, and be taken back off camera. So we'll find out more of what happens on Monday, of course, as far as Rollins goes in the Vision. But then finally we would then see Drew McIntyre appear. So he would slip in the cage, and I believe he first attacked Cody Rhodes, which inevitably would lead to it would lead to Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes teaming up on Drew McIntyre, because they were the final two left in this match. So I believe Randy Orton would hit McIntyre with the freaking RKO, and then we would see Cody Rhodes get Drew McIntyre in the crossroads position. I believe he did hit the crossroads, and then sneakily, man, freaking the Viper, Randy freaking Orton, he does not waste any freaking time. As soon as Cody gets back up, he drops him, RKO, 3 most dangerous letters in the game, and then 1, 2, and he gets that 3, baby. Randy Orton going on to WrestleMania, and man, the ending here really just solidifies my prediction for the main event of WrestleMania for most likely night 1, man. It's going to freaking be the fatal 4-way that I've been talking about all this time, between Drew McIntyre versus, of course, Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes versus Fatu, man. Fatu got costed yesterday in his second Elimination Chamber qualifying match with Logan Paul by Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre costed him, and he also costed him the first time when Jacob Fatu got his first opportunity to be in the chamber. So he's already been costed by Drew twice, and also more previously, just besides those two, from Drew, so So as far as Fatu, I think this just continues to set up the main event, man, because Fatu he's been screwed, so he's gonna somehow get inserted into the main event throughout this road to WrestleMania. Randy Orton's already inserted in there, and Cody Rhodes also pretty much just got screwed by Drew McIntyre here, and he's also been screwed by McIntyre before this as well. So oh man, I can't wait for it to finally be officially announced that it's going to be the Fatal 4-Way, man, because I just know that is inevitably going to be the final outcome and what's going to happen at WrestleMania, man. It's kind of, man, it kind of has to happen, bro. It kind of has to, man. They've been building for it for so long now that if it doesn't happen, it's kind of going to be like, yo, what the frick, or why do all that then, you know? So I really enjoyed the ending of this Elimination Chamber for the men's, man, because I think it just really shows us, really locks in the main event of WrestleMania for night one. Not because, I mean, dude, everything just adds up, man. Everything just adds up. So let me know how you guys do feel about my prediction, man, because I really think it's going to happen. I think it's there. The main event's there. All we need to do is actually, wait for it to, be fully built up for. So let me know how you guys do feel about my prediction there. Are you guys picking up what I'm putting down? Do you guys want to see that? Do you guys want to see that main event for WrestleMania? How did you guys feel about the men's Elimination Chamber as a whole? I mean, I personally think it was all right, man. I don't think, as overall, I don't think it was better than the women's. And going into my predictions, I said that, the men's was bound to be better than the women's. And quite frankly, I don't think that. I think the ending was very good for the men's, of course, but the overall match, I didn't like it. I really didn't. I think it was garbage because of everything that happened with LA Knight and Javon Evans, and just the fact that Logan Paul was getting 3 eliminations. Didn't really like that much either. So I don't know, man. Let me know how you guys did feel about the overall state of the men's Elimination Chamber this year. I didn't really find it to be that appealing or that great in my opinion. Like I said, I think the women's was actually better this year again. So let me know how you guys did feel about the overall men's Elimination Chamber. Like I said, let me know your thoughts about that main event that I have planned for WrestleMania 42 for night one. And how are you guys feeling about the masked man? Now we know now that it is for sure Seth Rollins. He unmasked. Do you guys think Braun Breaker is going to be back in time? I'm really hoping he is. Let me know all that down in the comments below, man. But overall, this main event, really solid in the end, but overall, kind of buns, man. All right, ladies and gentlemen, well, that is going to wrap up this year's Ringside Roundup for the Elimination Chamber, man. As always, I do hope you guys did enjoy and just ranking this year's Elimination Chamber, man. I feel like it really just depends on like how you weigh things out, man, because there was a good amount of things that were not as good and there was a good amount of things that were good, so it's like I'm kind of half and half on this one. I don't really know what to think just yet of the overall show. Some of it was good, some of it was bad, so you can argue that maybe it was mediocre, or you can argue that it was bad, or I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't say the show was bad. I wouldn't say it was all that great either, but if you're thinking overall, it's either mediocre to good at best, so that's kind of how I felt about the overall show. But like I said, leave me your thoughts on how you guys did feel about everything that happened down in the comments below, whether that's leaving your thoughts on the show, debating my thoughts on how I felt about the show, or leaving your thoughts on anything you want to discuss about the world of professional wrestling. As always, do that all down in the comments below. Without further ado though, as always, man, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on post notifications so you never miss an upload here on the channel. As always, go follow the socials. You can find the links to those in the description of this video. That includes my Instagram account, Enough talk, man. Hope you all enjoyed, and I will catch you all boys in the next one. Peace.